Hey guys, Archives here. So, let me tell you, do not attempt this Tower Trials yet. Okay? This is the easiest Tower Trials we have had out so far. Season 4 is really, really easy, right? So, before you try to clear it, take in mind that if you go over here to Quest, go look at our titles, right? Yep, that's a event. I'm gonna click on the events. Let's go all the way down here. At the very bottom, there's this Tower Towers Conqueror, right? Don't mind that, I'm just lazy. And if you go, is it this one? Clear the final floor with 3 starting grade SR heroes in the team. This is a really, really easy Tower Trials. So this is the best Tower Trials you to try to attempt to get this SR quest done. It's also, let's see here, where's it at? This one. This is also really easy to get this with because this is really easy. You get one SR team, or three, okay, you get 3 SRs, 1 SSR, right? And an SR on the back counts. So you get 1 SSR, 3 SRs, and then you just stay in that party through the entire Tower Trials and finish it out with that, right? Super simple, super easy for a majority of people because the SRs are really easy to max, right? So really easy. Now, who should you use? That's the question, huh? That I don't particularly know. I would probably say Green Gother. Green Gother, I would probably say, maybe like a Pierce team? Because you do have Ellie-Hawk, right? Because Green Ellie-Hawk's really good. Green Ellie-Hawk could be really good for this. Let's see here. Where's Ellie-Hawk? I don't have her Super Awakened, so she's not up there. There she is. Green Ellie-Hawk could be really good for this because she's a Pierce user, and she also lowers defense-related stats. And her Pierce isn't that bad, right? It's 40%, but increased with Green Gother every single turn, it's not too bad. Or you could go with like let's say a crit type team with Green Gother and maybe like a Red Slater because of his passive. Red Slater, let's see here. I don't know the SR uses. You could just go Slater, you could go Jericho, right? And you could use like SR Liz in like the back for healing and stuff. That's wrong. I clicked on that. You know, you could use SR Liz for healing in the back. There are quite a few different SRs you could use that are really good in this game, right? Because SR Liz is really good. Green Ellie-Hawk's really good. Red Slater's really good. The Jerichos are actually quite decent. Like, this Red Jericho's actually quite decent, in all honesty. She's not the best, but she's not the worst either compared to other units, because this is actually pretty good. And a lot of, a lot of enemies' Tower Trials do buff themselves. That does happen quite a lot. Let's see here. Bon is decent. That's all I would give him, is decent. Alright, here, let's go look on the Grand Quest database, look at all the SRs real fast. So if we're looking at all the SR characters here, right? Blue Arthur's pretty good. Bon is decent. Dan is pretty good as well. Elizabeth is really good. The Ellie-Hawks are really good. Aaron is also really decent, actually. Gil Thunders won't really work because their passive are for PvP. The Grimoires passes PvP, right? Yes, his passive PvP as well. And then you have Gilead. Gustav's pretty decent. Hendrickson's decent. The Jerichos are decent. Hauser's are decent. Julian's okay. SR Meliodas is decent. Slater's really good as well. So there's a lot of good SRs you could choose, right? So you could potentially choose. You could do a Slater with Ellie-Hawk or Elizabeth in the back, and something like Deanne, right? Because Deanne's actually pretty good. Or you could do, let's see, you could do Gother, you could do Deanne, because Deanne's a Pierce here, right? So Gother, Deanne, you could do the Green Ellie-Hawk. And then the back, you could do... Applies entering battle. Who could you do in the back that's an SR unit that boost? Oh wait, doesn't Weinhardt boost Pierce rate? Yeah, Okay, so he increases Pierce rate as well. So you could do Weinhardt in the back, you could do Deanne, Green Gother, and then you could do Green Ellie Hawk in the front. That's a really good Pierce team you could work on because Deanne, she helps increase allies' Pierce whenever they take damage, and majority of the time you're going to take damage, right? And of course, she increases defense related stats, so Pierce will do a lot of damage to them because it'll decrease the resistance. Along with your Pierce can increase by Weinhardt, and you have Green Gother increasing your attack related stats every single turn because they're all different races. And Elihawk is just a Pierce user, right? So that's the team you could attempt, right? Of course, you do a crit team, do a Pierce team. Other than that, I think that's the best two type of teams. You could do something with Arthur, right? Because Arthur is actually quite decent. Arthur's a decent unit, right? Housers are decent. They're pretty decent actually. Housers, they decrease their health and decrease their defense related stats. He decreases their crit chance and crit resist by his crit resistance, right? Because so it helps stop their damage count, right? And then this one, he is a counter unit, right? He's a counter unit and he's a single target, does a lot of damage. He also increases his crit chance, like Green Kings. So he's going to be doing a lot of damage crit-wise, right? If he has a lot of ult gauge. Then, of course, you have... let's see, where's he at? Here he is, Henriksen. Henriksen's decent. Not the best, not the worst, but he's actually quite decent. He increases his own pierce rate per up to 50% for every skill that an ally uses. So he's a decent unit you could bring. And of course, SR Aaron is actually really good. He's a really good unit to bring. He has Darius buff card, and then of course he does a lot of damage at cancel stances, and increases his damage dealt if it's an unknown race. There's not a lot of unknown races in this one, I don't think, because the main enemies, like the main bosses you fight, is the Slater ones, right? If we go over here and check, if that turn back on. Let's go over here, look at it. There's a lot of enemies you fight are Slater units, so they're human. Because you have Slater's team, right? Come on, load up. There it is. So you have him. You have Simon, that's his name. Julian. And of course, Weinhardt, and then the top is Slater. Would these units count as unknown? What are they? Yeah, okay, no, that's not unknown. That's Giant, isn't it? For sure it's Giant, isn't it? Yeah, that's Giant. Yeah. So he counts as Giant. What about the other enemies? Is there a lot of unknown enemies? Oh, that's reverse stages. Let's see here. Let's go to... What would the Goblin count as? He is... Okay, so he's Fairy. Interesting. So there's not a lot of unknown creatures here at all. There's none, actually. There's quite literally none. So SR Aaron's passive wouldn't actually work in this circumstance, right? So I wouldn't use Aaron Yeager. I mean, if you want to, as long as his passive won't work, but he's actually a pretty decent unit. Like, his ult does a lot of damage, his attack does a lot of damage, and plus his buff is good. But I'd probably do like a Pierce team. That's what I'd probably recommend, a Pierce or a crit team. Anyways, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next video. Bye bye!